him. He was in the air a fair old while. Take a single, 81 without loss. Hammond on to 40. Again, high in the sky, and it's a top edge, but again, it lands safely. It was a miscue, and he got that correctly. I think he might well have been caught. But, it landed well short of Ollie Stone. Deep square leg boundary. The field obviously spread. The fielding restrictions lifted. Struggling to find the boundary at the moment. That's hit away nicely though, and Sam Haynes not going to get to that. That's 4. Towards the groundsman's hut, which I'll be taking you round actually during the interval today, because they've been completely revamped by Silent Hobo, the street artist, whose back catalogue of work is absolutely astonishing. If you go on his website, you can see he's worked on the Olympics, he's worked for some huge companies, Google, Coca-Cola, and Gloucestershire now as well. He lives in Bristol. He's a regular down here, and he's created some fantastic work. It's commissioned by the county, and I'll be taking you around all of those pieces during the interval. As for now, it's 86 without loss. 9 overs remaining of the Gloucestershire innings.
Yeah, that boundary just makes it a decent over for the Gloucesters again. Patel back now with more spin at the pavilion end. Manufacturing himself a little angle. Just a single to begin the 12th. Field back at that man there at deep cover. Now goes to deep point for Hammond. Long off, long on, deep mid-wicket and deep backward square. The men out. But it's that fielder in the deep on the offside. Much, much squarer now for Hammond, having played those 3 reverse sweeps. A couple of them off Patel. In fact, he's being moved to more of a backward point position now in the deep. So Hammond goes the other way, but just down too long on for a single. Fieldsman running away from the Hammond room. Now for Dent, that fielder in the deep, back at deep cover here on the offside. And he goes high, and it's a top edge, and bowler getting after it, takes the catch. Good scramble from Patel, and he makes the breakthrough, and Chris Dent has gone. And finally this opening partnership is broken by the Bears. Just got a sense that this pair were beginning to think it was time to go. And Dent trying to sweep. Top edge. Almost thought it was going to land between 2 fielders there, but Patel does well running towards the edge of the 30-yard circle. And he makes the breakthrough. So 88 for 1 in the 12th over is a decent position for Gloucestershire. What they did at Taunton on Sunday was lost a cluster of wickets that turned a very strong position into one where they had to rebuild just into the second half of their innings.
I don't think the Bears will be buzzing when they see who's walking to the wicket. Ian Cobain dismantled their attack in the reverse fixture. 84 not out from 35 balls. It was quite exceptional hitting. And also, the bigger picture is that Cobain needs just 63 more runs to go level with Michael Klinger in the all-time T20 top run scorers for Gloucestershire.
Batsman crossed, so Hammond is back on strike. You've got a single here out to Hayne at deep mid-wicket. Again, a decent over bubbling up here for the Bears. 3 singles and a wicket. It's been singles in the early part of overs for the last couple, before runs towards the back end of the board ticks over for the home side. But now a new man, right-hander, so a right-left-hand combination now with Cobain out here at number 3. Struck the ball wonderfully well for his 26 ball 50 at Taunton on Sunday. And gets away straight away here with a little flick out to deep square.
Is that his leg spinner there, Patel? Like a completely different delivery, just try and catch Cobain out with the first ball.
Whatever it was, Cobain picked it, I think. Turned it away. Can Patel get out of the over here? It's been a really good one for the Bears. Oh, sliced away, huge slice of luck. Running away towards the fine leg fence will be cut off. And they get back 4, in fact just a single, to end the 12th. Good scramble from the fielder away from short fine leg. So that's a really, really good set from Jeetan Patel. And even though wickets have been hard to come by for the Bears, I think they'll be fairly content with their position. 91 on the board after 12 overs. Ammunition to come for the Gloucesters, of course. Can they build on this solid start? I think that's all we can say about the start. A solid platform built by Hammond and Dent. Just content to accumulate really in the first part of the innings.
Ollie Stone returns.
Yeah,
the
good
Ashley Down Road end.
Good move. New batsman potentially to bowl at here, and Hammond in particular looked uncomfortable against him.
2 overs for 18 so far. And this is definitely played. They're going to run the first one quickly. Throw coming into the bowler's end, and they get there pretty comfortably in the end. That was very well measured by Hammond. Just dropped it into the onside, and the fielder's set back. All on the leg side. 2 runs to the total. Good running. 93 for 1. Hammond 1 away from his first half century in this season's blast. Short, but not too short. Umpire just says that's the one for the over. Got 3 previous 50s in 30 T20 innings for Gloucestershire. Miles Hammond, can you make it number 4? That's miscued slightly. It's in the air. And a spectacular catch, diving away. Well, it looked like the ball was the favourite there. I thought Miles Hammond was going to get to 50. Wasn't quite timed as he would have wished. It was going to drop inside the boundary. I think he was trying to go bigger than that. But the fielder out there on the far side has made good ground, and then a big leap forward. 2 hands, got to the ball, took the ball low to the ground, and has pulled off a spectacular catch. I have been saying that the Bears' fielding has been a little bit under par, but that was anything but. 93 for 2. Hammond goes for a very well made 49. Had 1 or 2 issues with Ollie Stone, and in the end Stone gets his man.
Yeah, tremendous catch. Not quite timed, but I did think that Hammond had enough on that to find the mid-wicket fence, but a really, really good scramble around the boundary.
It's Dom Sibley out there, I think.
Cracking catch. All that weight that Dom Sibley lost during lockdown has proved effective there, moving swiftly to his right-hand side, and very solid catch. So all of a sudden we've got 2 new batsmen out there, and the Gloucesters, with 7 overs to go after this, have just got a little bit of rebuilding to do once again.
Ryan Higgins is the new man, but the batsman crossed while the ball was in the air, so it'll be Ian Cobain to face Ollie Stone, who's bowling at a very good rate. I'm not sure. We haven't got a speedometer here, unfortunately, but he must be close to 90.
Again, surprised they haven't got a slip in here. Chance against a new man.
Pushed on the up through the offside, 1 run. So Chris Dent caught after a skyer. His own bowling in the end by Jeetan Patel in the previous over, and now Miles Hammond, his fellow opener, getting a good start but not quite able to get to the half-century mark. Pulling the ball away and just dismissed by a fine catch. Change of the field, long off is coming up. Mid on is up as well. Third man and fine leg are both set back. Short ball maybe? No. It was just onto the pads there, tucked away, and they're going to come back for the second, and they'll get there.
Clever cricket, little nudge past mid-wicket, and recognise that the mid-wicket fielder had a long way to go to his left-hand side. Steal the second run.
Higgins off the mark straight away. Yeah, no single there. 96 for 2. 7 overs remaining. We've had plenty of entries already for our Gem of a Ball competition, courtesy of Bath Ales Gem by St Austell Brewery. Remember, you've got until the start of the Bears innings to enter to win 8 cases of Bath Ales Gem. So what, 8 times 8? That's 64, isn't it? 64 bottles of Bath Ales Gem, so that's pretty good. So we've had quite a few entries, as I mentioned. King Ryan Higgins, obviously, says one person. Someone with a picture of a cat as their Twitter bio has said David Payne. We've even had an entry from a Gloucestershire employee sat behind me who cannot win the competition, so he's immediately disqualified. And someone else has said Ryan Higgins to nick the top of off stump. Not a bad shout. Higgins out there with a bat in hand at the moment at the non-striker's end. Lintott to continue.
And Cobain, the man on strike, and pushing a ball down the ground for a single to long on. They've been well constrained here, Gloucestershire. Partnership between Dent and Hammond for the opening wicket was very profitable, but never took the game away from the Bears, and now a couple of wickets has got them right back into the innings. Push again for 2 here out to deep square leg, but the scramble is good off the fence. That'll just be 1. Very content here, Will Rhodes, with how his side have gone about their business. Gloucestershire looking for a bit of injection. Dabbed away, and again they'll push for 2. Again, it won't be available because the fielding is pretty swift off that leg side fence. Pair of right-handers, which will please the Bears, having not had to put up with a right-left combination for too long. And this time Higgins can't find the gap. That man in very tight at short mid-wicket, also a short extra cover in very, very tight. Short third man and short fine leg, the men in the ring on the offside. Lintott's just going to bring the man round actually from mid-wicket to the offside. So a huge gap there to leg if Higgins can negotiate. That's what he tries to do, pulling off around an off-stump line, but again it'll just be 1 out the deep square. Very tidy, quiet stuff for the Bears. Flicking through a few cheap overs here, having taken the wickets of Dent and Hammond. 100 does come up though, but it's taken a while. And chip back to the bowler, and he can't cling on at the second attempt. Lintott leaping above his head. Got a good 2 hands to that, able to palm the ball up, but just not able to dive forward. He took the rebound catch.
He took a very good return catch recently against De Lange, playing against Glamorgan.
Couldn't quite cling to that. So
no.
14 gone, 100 for 2. And the Gloucesters again, as they were on Sunday, just after some injection in the latter stages of the innings here, to ensure that a positive start is capitalised on.
So that one of against Marchant De Lange recently was a tougher chance than that. It was hit a lot harder. It was obviously that one maybe had about too much time. 100 up, 100 for 2. Brooks back into the attack. Swing and a miss from Ryan Higgins. Just got a little bit tied down here, Gloucestershire. Remember, looking for their 6th victory in a row. Won the toss, batted first, had it all their own way for much of it. 49 without loss after the power plays. 78 without loss after 10. But they've added just 22 runs in the last 4 overs. Lost a couple of wickets. Cut away, and good ground made up there by Sibley. And they'll just settle for 1. It was Sibley who took that fine catch to dismiss Miles Hammond for 49. Dent, the other man, to go for 39. No one saving the single on the leg side with Cobain on strike. Well, as you can see, that's straight as you like. That's got, almost over the stumps and away for 4 runs. No chance for Adam Hose down there on the long-on boundary. Mentioned the field was spread on the onside, but he's not afraid to hit it straight, even if it was slightly cross-batted. That's power. That is power from Ian Cobain, and moves him on to 8, 105 for 2.
Really nicely struck. Such quick hands through the ball there from Cobain.
Slower ball. Roll of the wrist from Cobain. They'll think about a second here. Throw into the keeper's end. Oh, I thought he was struggling there for a second. It was the right end to throw it to. They just didn't seem to have the pace on the throw.
Yeah, there was a moment's hesitation there from Cobain. Higgins was always coming back for the second run, but Cobain just checked his stride in turning for the second. Thankfully, the throw was a little wide.
Brooks full and a little bit wide and carved away by Cobain. So the field is set more for a leg side shot. Not great bowling that, and gave him space to free his arms and away for 4 runs. Nelson 111 for 2. Cobain starting to move through the gears.
He's done really well there actually to manufacture the angle. It wasn't too far wide of the off stump. But again, excellent wrist, just opening the blade and carving it over backward point. And this is the injection that Gloucestershire were after.
Struck firmly as well, but this time Hose can latch on to that one. 11 off the over though, a good one for Gloucestershire. We can just take a check on the Miles Hammond dismissal from earlier, because I don't think we showed a replay of that, so an opportunity to see this one properly with Ollie Stone, the bowler. You can see Dom Sibley there in the distance. Shorter ball, didn't quite time it, but look, a lot of ground to make up and a fine diving catch. He was always running back. He had to curve his run, didn't he, and almost dive towards the boundary. Fine catch, and rightly celebrated by his teammates. Anyway, 5 overs remain, 112 for 2.
More spin from the pavilion end with Patel back, 1 over to bowl, 1 for 18 so far, has done well, former skipper. Cobain trying to play a little reverse paddle there first up. Not too far away from losing his off stump. Patel has got deep point back, long on, long off, deep mid wicket and deep square here. Giving himself some room, but straight to extra cover. Good start to the over for Patel. Bears will hope that the reintroduction of spin will just quieten this mini comeback. But that is well struck, up and over the leg side, and all over 6 this time. Bell rings out from the flats balcony. Fine strike from Ian Cobain. Length ball, and he's waited for it. Patel maybe tempting him, throwing one up slightly, and Cobain has taken him over mid-wicket for a maximum. Goes down the ground this time, out towards long on. Fielder back there, but it's over his head for 6 more. More sweet striking from Ian Cobain. They've seen plenty of this summer, seen plenty of it in the last few years, it must be said.
That's an extraordinary shot, isn't it, really? It's
low full toss, and he's hammered it down the ground for 6 more. So Patel returning for a final over, but expensive here so far. Whipped away towards deep square. That's found the gap. Finds the gap between deep square and deep mid wicket.
Well, I don't think our cameras got it there, but it was sort of Keystone Cop stuff after out there on the boundary, because the two fielders ran towards each other, looked at each other. It was after you, and they both looked at each other, and the ball went between them. I don't think Patel was too satisfied with that. So
6-6-4, and this was the push that Gloucestershire were after. Patel expensive in his final over. It's swept away again, but this should be cut off on the mid-wicket fence. It is. And Patel finishes spell with a single, but that's a good set for the Gloucesters. 15 from it, 16 gone, 129 for 2. So 4 overs to go, 24 deliveries. Can they push themselves up to 170, 180? That's what they'll be targeting. Sweet striking there from Ian Cobain. Exactly what Gloucestershire were after. Their hitters in the middle order to come and build on that fine start that Dent and Hammond provided them.
Brooks to continue. Cobain with a very wide stance, but a very wide ball there from Brooks down the leg side. Attempted slower delivery. 130 for 2. Yeah, so still 4 overs remaining.
Last 2 overs gone for 27. And a wide there. Just get a sense that a bit of pressure being put back on the Bears here.
Oh, Cobain loves playing against Birmingham. That's very short, too high. No ball. Yeah, losing their discipline here. Bears at the moment. 1 or 2 bits of sloppy fielding. Bowling has dropped a bit, and you can just hear 1 or 2 of the fielders trying to G them back up. Last push. In danger of slipping away from them here. Crucial period in this. Crucial period. Oh, he missed out there a bit. Very slow full toss. Cobain's eyes just lit up, and he's actually hit a far trickier balls for 6 already, but that one, yeah, he missed out. And then, yes, relief for the bowler, I think.
I thought that was heading towards Kennington Avenue to start with. Gave it everything he had.
Still all those fielders on the leg side boundary. Square leg. Mid-wicket and long on. He's gone up, 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 and over the rope. 6 more from Ian Cobain.
Beautiful striking again. Just gets himself in a really good position here. Let's see on the replay. Nicely set. Able to swing his arms cleanly through the ball. Not a great delivery, it must be said, by Brooks. Giving Cobain length to work with. It's in fine touch, Ian Cobain.
Now this one, as he timed it so well, the fielder looked like he was going to set himself and then watches it sail over his head. Will Rhodes, the captain, rather dejectedly retrieves the ball because his team are unravelling here, and it's Ian Cobain again, just as he did at Edgbaston. 44 now. 144 for 2. Cobain is motoring along. Back-to-back 6s. A chat with the captain to his bowler, because once Cobain gets going, as they found out in the reverse fixture, it's very hard to stop. Just thinking, what's he going to bowl here? And a Yorker is a very fine riposte.
Yeah, needed it because it was becoming a very, very expensive over, but speared it in. But Cobain here has got the Gloucesters back on course for a really challenging total.
Still 2 balls left of this over. Will he go for the Yorker again? Third man and fine legger up. Well, he's gone for it, but Cobain's managed to get bat on that one, and plenty of bat too. That's 4 more. In fact, no, it's not. Sorry, I've completely misjudged that. I thought it was gone for 4. It's been taken in the deep.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, really. It's very nicely timed once again by Cobain, but timed too well because he's found the man at deep point. Yard either side, it would have been 4 more. You're forgiven, Rob, for the big pillar in front of you.
Well, yeah, I went on the batsman's body language. Oh dear.
So Cobain has to turn and walk off, but he's played a fine little cameo there, more than a cameo really, to get the Gloucesters going again. But a badly needed wicket for the Bears. We were seeing their strong position slip away. 100 for 2 Gloucestershire were after 14 overs. And now with the ball to go in the 17th, 1-4-4, but now for 3. The Bears mightily relieved to see Cobain walking back to the pavilion. But not after another superb display of striking.
Yeah, well, he contributed 44 of Gloucestershire's 144 they've got on the scoreboard at the moment. It means that he falls 6 short of a half century, and actually he's now just 19 runs short of Michael Klinger's total at the top of the scoring charts for Gloucestershire. That's for another day. Now it's time for Ryan Higgins on strike. Jack Taylor's the new man, and a good ending to the over from Henry Brooks. Started off with a wide, a no ball, consecutive sixes, but then he picked up the prize wicket of Ian Cobain, and he was threatening to go very pear-shaped there for the Birmingham Bears, but they've managed to just wrestle back a little bit of control. But there's still 3 overs left, still 18 balls left. So that par score that I was talking to David Payne about 170, that still looks very attainable. And you never know if Jack Taylor can get his arms swinging, as we've seen plenty of times down the years, then might go even further north of that. It's Tim Bresnan returning to the attack.
Yeah, 18 balls to go in the innings, and Gloucestershire will be targeting 180, you would think. 36 from 18 to get there, not beyond the realms of possibility. Bresnan's first over went for 12, back at the pavilion end here. Changing ends, bowling to a new man in the captain Taylor, and he finds point with a little push forward. So Bresnan returns with third man, deep cover, long on, deep square and deep mid-wicket all back here. Short fine leg, backward point, extra cover and mid-off the men inside the ring here. Bresnan, you think, would finish off at this pavilion end, assuming all goes to plan here. Been swung away by Taylor, not perfectly timed. This will land short of the fieldsman in the deep, and they'll get just a single. So a good start of the over for Bresnan and the Bears. He will just look to wrest back momentum, having been on the wrong end of some superb swinging by Ian Cobain in the last 3 overs. Goes short. Was it too short? Not quite. Valuable dot ball again. Bresnan has provided some much needed experience really in this Bears bowling attack across both the first class and T20 formats this summer. He arrived from Yorkshire after all those years at Headingley. Higgins gives him the charge, goes leg side. Does he get it wide of the mid-wicket? Not quite. It's long on who's able to bat it back into play. But they'll be able to skip back for a third run here. Little shimmy down the pitch from Higgins. Didn't get all of it, but to get it into the gap on one of the longer parts of the ground there towards the indoor school. 2 balls to go in Bresnan's second over. Good set for him and the Bears so far. Jack Taylor back on strike. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. It's the Tim Southey special, the wide Yorker.
Yeah, it was just, what, an inch or two inside the magic line. Very good.
Perfect.
Almost unhittable, unless you've maybe premeditated a move across your stumps.
And relatively safe as well with the third man back. Excellent stuff from Bresnan. Taylor now picks one up, goes leg side, fielder on the very edge of the fence. Can't take the catch, but does well to save a boundary. And they're going to come back for a second run. Really, really good work in the deep. Sibley over there again, who took that tremendous catch to dismiss Hammond. Very good piece of work, right on the edge of the fence. Great awareness of where the boundary was. Able to throw it back into play Doesn't take it for 6. Taylor thought he had enough on that for a moment, but just 2 to finish the over. So the 150 up for Gloucestershire. 12 balls to go in the innings. Maybe now 170, a more realistic target.
Should have caught that, shouldn't I? You can see it was in the air a long time. He had to suddenly backpedal. Great readjustment. Here comes the next over, and it's a wide. Poor delivery there from Henry Brooks. To his last over, 1 for 33. Picked up the wicket of Ian Cobain for 44 from just 21 balls, 3 4s and 4 6s in Cobain's innings. Strike rate in excess of 200. Threatened to take the game away from the Bears, but as things stand, it's quite nicely poised, this. 1 run to Higgins, fielded by Stone.
So can Taylor put a couple out of the park here? This is what the Gloucesters need, just to ensure they go into half-time with the momentum. How Benny Howell finished the innings off so well on Sunday at Taunton with his late cameo. Can Taylor provide something similar here?
Crashed towards the onside boundary and no chance for Sam Hain. He wasn't actually that far away from it, but that was absolutely bludgeoned to the boundary. And that's what we said about if he can get his arms through, he really can time a ball nicely, and that was perfect example. Raced past Sam Hain, 4 runs. And now Jack Taylor on to 7.
It was a little telegraphed because they sent the long leg back and brought mid-off up, so you always knew it was going to be into the pitch. Now they reversed that fielding change.
Slower ball and 2 stumps out of the ground, so Taylor hits Brooks for 4, and then Brooks gets immediate revenge. A very canny slower ball that Taylor went after, and his stumps have been splattered. And Gloucestershire 4 wickets down, 156 for 4. Taylor on his way.
Very nice from Henry Brooks, deceiving Taylor straight through him. Great sight for a quick bowler with a couple of stumps flat on the floor. So Taylor not able to do any real damage.
Shows the strength of Gloucestershire's batting recently, though, that we've got James Bracey coming in now, of course, exceptional talent. You look at it, Graham Van Buren has only batted twice in this season's competition. And he's another one who's, very, very useful with the bat.
He's got
More than useful.
He's got those useful runs laid on here against Glamorgan, didn't he? They'll almost get the Gloucesters up.
Outstanding first-class average as well, and he's scarcely been needed. Same with the tail enders. Tom Smith, David Payne only been needed once. That was in that defeat to Glamorgan. And Bracey really is fairly sparingly been needed. And he's in now, midway through the 19th.
Oof.
And straight away with mid-off up, he finds the boundary. Not a bad stroke to get you off the mark.
What a beautiful shot this is. Just a little punch through the line. Absolutely perfect timing. Again, not great bowling from Brooks, because with mid on the mid-off up, probably should have gone into the pitch again, but he's gone full. He was asking to be punched down the ground, and he's paid the price. Beautiful timing from Bracey.
Slower ball picked by Bracey. Goes wide of long off, but the fielding is decent, and they'll just settle for 1 this time. Higgins back on strike. Final ball then of the penultimate over. What can Gloucestershire get to now? Sliced, but third man's up, and the outfield is quick. 4 runs. Brooks has been expensive. 2 wickets, but 48 runs conceded from his 4 overs. That's him done. So she and Bresnan will bowl the final over. They have got other options. I think Stone's only bowled 3.
Yeah, Stone's going to come back here to finish it off. Huge slice of luck there for Higgins, but it'll do for Gloucestershire. 165 for 4 with an over to go. So once again, that 180 mark is within reach if they can finish things off well here. But Stone has been pretty good all day. Shown good pace so far, but a change of ends, something to adjust to. And he's going to send back the men at third man, deep cover, both long on and long off a back, and also deep mid wicket. So I would suggest here he's going to target the stumps. I don't think we'll see much short, because the man on the leg side in the deep is quite wide. Oh, not enough on this, and this will be taken by Burgess, yes. Simple catch, and Stone strikes straight away in the last over. You could see what Bracey was trying to do. It was a decent option with short fine leg up inside the circle. Just couldn't quite get the deflection. Way too much bat on it. Quite high on the bat perhaps as well. It just popped up for a catch for Burgess.
Yeah, he didn't. It sort of followed him a bit, the ball, didn't it? He didn't quite get across it enough. And as you say, it was. I'm not sure he meant to bowl it that full, Ollie Stone. So maybe a little bit of fortune there, but he's probably deserved it for the sort of pace and zip that he's bowled with and the skill.
Yeah, the way the field was set, as I say, it was always going to be full at the stumps, and that's probably why Bracey premeditated the little ramp, knowing there was a huge gap deep on the leg side behind square. But George got the new man, the right-hander, and for the right-hander, the field has stayed the same as it was for Bracey. Oh, that struck well. Has he found the gap on the leg side? Yes, he does. Straight away. Sweet strike leg side. And Higgins finds the fence. Yeah, again, it was at the stumps from Stone, fairly full. Higgins able to set himself and got plenty of that. Very useful boundary. Excellent comeback, but can they get back for 2? It's squirted away, and there's a chase out for Stone himself here, and they are able to come back for the second run. Excellent Yorker from Stone, and very unfortunate to concede a couple of runs. So not a bad final over here for Gloucestershire, despite losing Bracey. 3 balls to go. I think Stone will settle for not conceding a boundary. 180 still just about in reach. At the stumps again, and Higgins can only push it away for a single to deep cover. I think he would have been looking there to try and deflect it past short third man, but can only push it away for 1. Good stuff from Stone. That brings the new man Scott on to strike with a couple of balls to go in the innings. Only really one option here. Deep square has come up now, and third man goes back. Anticipate once again this will be at the stumps right up there from Ollie Stone. Yep, nice and full. And a direct hit of the bowlers there. That's superb work, and sliding away goes Tim Bresnan. Wonderful piece of fielding. And Scott has to go. They were always going to go through for the run, but it bounced up nicely for the fieldsman and extra cover. Probably 2.5 stumps to aim at. Takes out one of them. And how about that for a celebration? A superb piece of work.
You know what it reminded me of? Dean Windass.
You don't talk about Dean Windass in this part of the world.
Well, no, that's what it reminded me of when he scored that goal against Bristol City.
Right, oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'm referring to. You don't talk about that, do you? Goodness.
James Bracey does.
So 1 ball to go in the innings, and they did cross, so Higgins will get the final ball. It's been a pretty good final set this from Ollie Stone. Can he finish it off? Yes, he can. It's carved away. Oh, there's going to be overthrows. Oh, that is careless. It's only going to concede the 1 run, but it could have been a dot ball to finish the innings off there. And Stone will be a little disappointed that the throw came in.
He was very close to rolling back the year's 2 balls in a row there, Tim Bresnan, because it was a left-handed catch and it was very nearly spectacular. He had it in his hand and then just dropped it. And then again, he nearly got a run out. But
So 8 from the final over. And Gloucestershire finished here on 173 for 6. They never really managed to get away from the Bears at any stage of the innings. They were struggling a bit at 100 for 2 after 14. And then that superb innings from Ian Cobain, 44 off 21, really gave them the middle innings pep they needed. They haven't quite capitalised in the final 5. Decent score, 173 for 6. Type of score that they've been working with throughout the competition so far to good effect when batting first. But the Bears will be pretty confident. They chased down 179 to beat Worcestershire at New Road on Sunday. Bigger ground here at Bristol, different dimensions to work with. But having lost the toss, I think the Bears will be fairly content. No real stage, as I say, apart from that Cobain onslaught, did Gloucestershire really get on the front foot, because as positive as that opening stand was between Hammond and Dent, it was more steady accumulation. You can see there both their strike rates below 120. None of them able to really break the shackles and do too much damage. So a score to work with for the Gloucesters. 173 for 6, and the Bears will be fairly content.
yeah, so required run rate is in excess of 8.5. So yeah, not an intimidating score, but as we mentioned with Benny Howell earlier, I'd say about a par score. So yeah, it's certainly defendable, and you wouldn't bet against Gloucestershire and the way their bowlers have been operating this season. Ryan Higgins leads the way with 13 wickets, Tom Smith 10, David Payne has 8, Graham Van Buren 6, but the economy rates are also well worth looking at. Van Buren 6, less than 6.5, Payne under 8, Tom Smith remarkably 6 runs and over he goes for, Ryan Higgins sub 9 and over. You know, they've been very, very disciplined this season, and they'll have to be again if they are going to make it 6 wins in a row. So, as I mentioned earlier, we've got a little thing to bring you during the interval. Also, a reminder that time is running out if you want to enter our competition to win 8 cases of Bath Ales Gem by St Austell Brewery. You can enter once on Twitter, once on Facebook. All you have to do is guess who is going to bowl the gem of a ball, hashtag gem of a ball for Gloucestershire in this innings. So the best ball that we decide at the end, so whether David Payne just snicks off one of the openers with a Jaffa that moves away, well, we'll say David Payne, and then if you've said David Payne, then you get the cases of beer if you are chosen at random in our competition. It's hashtag gem of a ball. Get your entries in now. Competition's open to people at 18 years or over, and so you've got about 5-10 minutes left to enter. As for now, let's take you behind the scenes here. Obviously, unfortunately, we can't have supporters here at the Bristol County Ground, and we do miss you dearly at every game. It really is a huge void here, as it is with every sporting event at the moment. But when you do return, safely of course, you'll be able to enjoy some remarkable transformations around the ground. The ground looks a picture. It really has improved leaps and bounds in the last few months. And a lot of it is courtesy of a very special artist, as I went to have a look around before the game. Bristol is one of the most exciting, eclectic and eccentric cities on the planet. It's also world-renowned for its street artists, of course. This is the birthplace of Banksy, and we asked another local artist, Silent Hobo, to create these specially commissioned murals around the ground to really bring the Bristol County Ground to life. We hope you'll enjoy it on your next visit to Neville Road, but for now, let's have a bit of a tour around. This is at the entrance, of course, and there's a left-hander deep in his crease playing a nice shot through the offside. All the best players are left-handers, right? Now, a lot of these walls were just plain old magnolia, like the one below the scoreboard there, prior to Silent Hobo coming in and absolutely transforming the place. You can see behind me W.G. Grace, one of Gloucestershire's most famous former players, and then there's notable landmarks all across this wall here. It's spectacular. You can see Alfred the gorilla further along.
Of course, Bristol Zoo's famous resident, our mascot as well, sadly missed at the moment. He's fine. His suit's just up in the office, just waiting for us for next season, hopefully when we can have fans back. And then you move further along, you can see the SS Great Britain, of course, which took the first ever England touring party over to the Ashes in Australia in 1861. Great cricket connection there, just by the Clifton Suspension Bridge, of course. And moving up, you can see Concorde as well, another proud moment in Bristol's history. But let's have a look round by the groundsman's shed, shall we? Bristol is a very green city, of course. Conservation is key to making sure that we maintain those beautiful wild open spaces that we have around the city. And this latest mural from Silent Hobo reflects just that. It's a real sneak peek, this. Many fans won't have seen this because this was only completed in the last few months. And of course, we've been in lockdown, no fans allowed at the ground. So you can see a couple of friendly badgers here on the side of the groundsman's shed. One's definitely a big Gloucestershire fan. I think when I bring my kids down here, I'll just say, they're just friends, they're just cuddling. I mean, you might have a different interpretation of it, I'm not sure, but as you move around here you can see a pretty disappointed person. Looks like they've just been dismissed cheaply. I know that feeling very well. All the mowers, all the lawn preparation kit is inside this shed, and you can see some of the ground staff working away, preparing a new wicket. The pitch looks absolutely beautiful today. Bright blue skies, lovely sunshine, rolling the pitch, and we've got one more exhibit to show you, which we'll come round to in just a second. So this is the second hut that the ground staff use, and you join me by the special anniversary hot air balloon just behind me. If we have a wander along, you can see a nice catch there taken, good technique, eyes on the ball, two hands, that's what I teach my son. And then we move along here, and actually when this garage door is shut, there is a hidden message. Oh, just like that, it happened magically. There is a hidden message within the colourful houses that of course are so familiar to Bristolians. If you can't see it on camera at the moment, when you next come down to the ground, hopefully you'll be able to read what it says, and that's one for the youngsters as well. And we move finally along here to the rolling hills, the countryside. A left-hander, there's definitely some bias going on, and I like what Silent Hobo's created here. And also, just if we go down a bit here, this is a dry stone wall, and in front of this, when you next come to the ground, there will be a bike rack. We are encouraging people to be more sustainable, to be more green, as I mentioned earlier, so there will be a bike rack in front of the dry stone wall, so when you next visit the Bristol County Ground, you can cycle here, and we cannot wait to see you, and we hope you enjoy these fantastic murals created by Silent Hobo.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that little look around the ground staff's huts and the offices and the club shop here with all the new murals. Amazing they are, really are spectacular, and there's loads of little bits to pick out. I've just given you a sort of very brief tour, but I'm sure when you come down here, and as I say, particularly for youngsters as well, there's lots of little details and hidden sections to pick out, and it really is wonderful transformation of the ground here, because it was very magnolia, wasn't it, before? There was a lot of magnolia going on. A lot of magnolia. Nothing against magnolia, but it was a little bit oppressive. So anyway, this is the competition that we're running today. Hashtag Gem of a Ball. You can see Graham Van Buren, David Payne and Ryan Higgins there. Now you might want to vote for one of them. Maybe you think Tom Smith will bowl the best ball of this innings. Possibly Matt Taylor into the side today in the place of Benny Howell. Whoever you pick, make sure you tweet us or enter via our official Facebook page. Use the hashtag Gem of a Ball, and you could win eight cases. So not 8 bottles, 8 cases of 8. That's a Bath Ales Gem by St Austell. So if you like that, or if you know someone that does, fantastic competition. Grateful to our sponsors for that. 2 minutes you've got to enter. Last 2 minutes. So get your entries in now. Who do you think is going to bowl the best bowl of the innings? If you're correct and it matches up with our judgment, then at the end of the innings we will announce who the winner is for 8 cases of Bath Ales Gem. Good luck everyone. Last minute or so of that competition. So Gloucestershire, having won the toss, posted 173 for 6. Miles Hammond top scoring with 49. Lots of players got into double figures. In fact, the top 4 did, but no one could quite get over the landmark. So Miles Hammond made 49 from 41 balls before he was caught by Dom Sibley. A spectacular catch out in the deep off the bowling of Ollie Stone, who bowled with some serious heat. Chris Dent made 39. Looked good out there as well before he skied one, and Jeetan Patel caught him off his own bowling for 39 off 34 balls. Ian Cobain came in, and after a fairly slow start then suddenly got going and was absolutely motoring before he was dismissed, caught on the offside off the bowling of Brooks, who was being carted around the ground in that over, but Sibley helped him out with another catch, and Cobain had to go for 44, but added to his 84 not out earlier in the season against Birmingham Bears. He certainly caused them some damage. 44 from 21 balls, 3 fours, 4 sixes. Ryan Higgins was unbeaten on 21, 16 balls he was in for, just a couple of boundaries. Jack Taylor, the skipper, hit 1 boundary and then was out the very next ball. Slower delivery from Brooks, took out 2 stumps. He went for 7. James Bracey, he hit his first ball, lovely lofted drive down the ground for 4. But then he tried a ramp shot off a fairly high full toss from Stone, and he was caught by wicketkeeper Burgess for 5. And then George Scott was run out. Great bit of work by Tim Bresnan, who picked the ball up one-handed, arrowed a throw into the stumps, and then did a knee slide as a celebration. So Scott out without scoring from just the one delivery he faced, and Graham Van Buren didn't face a ball. He was unbeaten on 0. So 173 for 6. There were 8 extras, 4 no balls, 4 wides. And the bowling figures, Tim Bresnan, 2 overs, no wickets for 18. Jeetan Patel, 4 overs, 1 for 35. Ollie Stone, 2 for 31 from 4. Pick of the bowlers today, really. Brooks was expensive, 2 for 48 from his 4 overs, so 12 and over he was going at. Will Rhodes was actually very tidy in his 3 overs, wicketless, but 18 runs conceded. And then Jake Lintott, the former Gloucestershire man, 3 overs, no wickets for 23. Right, so here come the players. Black and yellow players on the speakers. As soon as the first ball is bowled, our gem of a ball competition entry time ends. That is the last time that you can enter, so you literally have got a few seconds if you want to win 8 cases of lovely local ale. And here come the players, as I mentioned. Bracey with his gloves on. James Bracey said he's had a slightly peculiar T20 Blast campaign. 5 stumpings, no catches. It's just a slightly peculiar stat, really. 5 stumpings, no catches in this season's competition, but his glove work has been absolutely exemplary. So he's going to stand up for the first over, which will be bowled by Graham Van Buren. And yeah, the 2 opening batsmen. Looks like Rob Yates and Dom Sibley, doesn't it? I think. Yeah, Rob Yates, the left-hander, and Dom Sibley at the non-striker's end. Dom Sibley has, since his return from the Test side, has had 2, I think, golden ducks. Definitely 2 scores of 0. I'm not sure. I think they might have even been first ball both times. I'll have to double check. But Van Buren to start us off, and the gem of a ball competition ends now. Good luck, everyone. We'll announce the winners at the end. Yates off the mark straight away. Bears need 174 to win. Now 173, of course, with that single. Sibley, who just recently celebrated his 25th birthday. Nice bit of turn there from Van Buren.
Yeah, just get the ball to grip a little bit. Gives it a chance, Van Buren.
Shorter but not timed. In the air, oh, and just past a diving effort there from Chris Dent, and it was to his left-hand side. Well, that was hit firmly, I thought. It was in with half a chance, but it raced past him and away for 4 runs.
Fraction short, not too short at all. It wasn't a bad ball, but excellent batting from Sibley. Good response. He rattles through the overs, Van Buren.
Big appeal, that looks pretty straight and gone. Sibley out for 4. Van Buren strikes in the first over. Big wicket, 5 for 1. And it just didn't turn that one, it went straight on, just straightened, and Sibley attempting the reverse sweep, trapped in front. No, I don't think there can be too many question marks over that one, looking at the replay.
Yep, absolutely no doubt at all. Bang in front, and straight away there, the difference between the Gloucestershire opening pair and Sibley's attitude. Faced the dot ball, recognised it was a pretty skinny opening over, and then took an opportunity, and it cost him his wicket. It's not what Hammond and Dent did at all. Even when a few dot balls built, they were content to work the bowling around and build a partnership. But Sibley has taken an unnecessary early chance and given Gloucestershire a wicket in the opening over. Keep mentioning the point about wickets in the power play, but the statistics are there for all to see. How many runs wickets in the first 6 overs save you compared to the last 6 overs of the innings?
That was the last ball of the first over, so an early breakthrough for Gloucestershire. Adam Hose is the new man, and he'll be at the non-striker's end. Yates is going to face David Payne.
The left-handed Yates, and Payne left arm over here from the pavilion end of the ground. And that's a nice throw, that's a nice start. It's got past point. It'll race away towards the square boundary. Sweet piece of timing. Full, a little wide from Payne, not the best start. He's got carved away to the fence. Rob Yates, just his second match here in the T20 competition this season. 29 in his first appearance. I've had the explosive Ed Pollock at the top of the order of the Bears, but hasn't proved effective this summer, as was the case last year. Much better from Payne there. Nice tight line and cramping Yates for room. Yates has scored some good runs in his first class appearances for the Bears. Proved a fine young cricketer. Now hoping to transfer that into the T20 arena. Different style completely really to Pollock, who very much a white ball hitter, explosive batsman. Helped the Bears reach the final a few years ago, but hasn't really done anything since. And that's carved away out towards third man, and that will find the fence as well, yes. Van Buren chasing after it, but can't get there. And a second boundary in the over for Yates, creating all his own room this time, stepping outside the leg stump, and was probably going to hit the top of the off stump from David Payne, but slapped away by Yates. And a good start here for the Bears, and immediately it's going to prompt a little rethink, because third man is going to come up, and deep mid wicket is going back, deep square is also back too. So with both short third man and fine leg up in the circle, particularly the third man up in the circle, suggests that Payne is now going to bowl into the pitch. Got for 2 boundaries in the over so far. It's nice and full again though, and just pushed back to the bowler this time. So 2 boundaries, 2 dots. As the Bears begin their chase of 174. As I say before, 179 was their successful chase on Sunday at Worcester. Sam Haynes runs, helping them home there for a third successive victory. Looking to reel off a 4th on the spin. Get really stuck into the qualification race. Bit of room again, Yates trying to find for himself, but Payne following him, cramping for room.
It's only his second game, Rob Yates. It was his debut against Worcestershire. Scored 29 from 18 balls. Already hit a couple of nice boundaries.
Can Payne get himself out of the over? Oh, good save from Bracey. That could have skipped away towards the fine leg fence with the fieldsman up inside the 30-yard circle, but a very good save indeed. It means that Payne has indeed got out of the over successfully. A couple of boundaries, but 4 dots in the over. And it's a decent start here for Gloucestershire with a wicket of Sibley. Gone for just 4 in the opening over. 13 for 1 off 2. 174 the target.
Gloucester fans might remember that in the Bob Willis Trophy meeting last month, Yates played out for 0 and 2, so he's already gone past that. It's Adam Hose, the former Somerset man, who's taking guard at the moment. And change of bowling. Matt Taylor into the attack. Brought back into the side today at the expense of Benny Howell. So left arm pace from both ends.
With a point to prove, no doubt, Taylor, because he has been expensive so far in the competition. His overs have cost 10.3 and over. And he picked up the 4 wickets.
A useful opener. Did, of course, famously bowl a T20 maiden once to Chris Gale at Taunton, which I would be putting on my gravestone, I think, if that was me. Another full one, dug out, but Van Buren can't prevent a single. Hose off the mark.
Yeah, of the intimidating batsman to bowl at in world cricket. Gale will be right up there, wouldn't he?
Well, especially at Taunton with the boundary.
Indeed, well, yes. Gale had deposited several balls in the river during his time down there. But I don't think, certainly the one season he played, he didn't actually help Somerset qualify.
Oh, he's got very full here. Is that a no ball, though? Oh no, he's hit the stumps.
He has. He did
so
this.
It's a free hit.
He did this at Edgbaston actually in the return fixture. This is Finn's Law coming back into play.
It was a good ball as well. What a shame. So free hit coming up. Yates on strike. And he's going to get 4 here. Beats the despairing dive of Tom Smith. Short fine leg. And a costly error there from Matt Taylor. Which, leaves the Bears 20 for 1. Midway through the 3rd over. Remember, Gloucestershire, having won the toss, posted 173 for 6. Hammond 49. Cobain 44.
Yeah, you can see what he's trying to do when trying to get very close to the stumps, just to cut out that natural angle going into the left-hander.
Yates wants 2 here. And he's going to get 2 comfortably in the end.
Yeah, you can see the last 2 balls he's been forced with that no ball to jump a bit wider on the crease, so yeah, he's able to work him away the leg a couple of times.
Backing away. It's not a bad delivery, really. And I'll run through for 1 leg by. I suppose, obviously, you mentioned Matt Taylor's been a little bit expensive. And in the side, I guess, we don't know whether it was a tactical thing or whether they're just trying to monitor Benny Howell so quickly back from... so soon after being back from a long-term injury. But, you know, it's a big responsibility on Taylor here to offer that control, which Howell didn't manage with the ball the other night, or after his heroics with the bat. Hose drives, but straight to the fielder. Adam Hose hasn't really got going in this season's competition. Scores a 2, 18, a duck, 23, 43. He does, though, have 9 50s in 50 innings with a strike rate of 144.9. So he is one of many threats amongst the Bears lineup.
Yeah, he's probably their chief threat in terms of 6 hitting. He's a big lad, strikes a long ball. 5 maximums already in the competition. Second over here for Payne. Yates having a couple of times in the previous over stepped away to his leg stump. Payne perhaps anticipating that and slipping one down leg. Fine legs up inside the circle again. Deep square and deep mid wicket at the men out. Otherwise a ring field, mid off, mid on. Extra cover, cover point. Backward point, short third man, short fine leg. Not timed and gone. Caught at cover point. Comfortable catch. And Payne has struck. And the Gloucesters have a second. And Yates, who'd started brightly, has to go. Again, he was looking to go up and over that offside. A little bit flat-footed, trying to cut a ball that perhaps wasn't sure enough to do so. And he's just steered it away.
George Scott, safe pair of hands in the covers. It's a looping effort in the end, wasn't it, really? Looked strong through the offside, but not there. So his second T20 appearance ends in disappointment, but not for Gloucestershire. Another wicket in the power play, and hey, if they can get the Bears 3 down, they're in business. But this, as I said earlier, there was a crucial juncture in the game, and this is another one because you've got Hose and Hayne in the middle, and Hayne is one of those who you kind of look through his career record and you think, how on earth has he not made his full debut for England? Because his limited overs career, in particular, is pretty extraordinary. His List A average is 59.7.
Yeah, there was one stage where he did have the highest List A average of all time. Remarkable white ball player, hasn't managed to quite back it up in red ball cricket. Shades of Jonathan Trott the way he bats. 179 runs in the competition so far. Hitting it at 134. So decent numbers. With his side under some early pressure here. And a right left-hand combination for Payne to deal with. Clever stuff, little dab and go in front of point.
And he got runs against the Rapids, didn't he? 73 not out, Sam Hayne. So he comes into this game in good form. 3 half centuries in his last 5 innings, and yeah, Gloucestershire will know that if they can get one of these 2 out in the power play, then they are really in amongst it.
So Hose taking guard here with deep square and deep cover back here. What's now a pair of right-handers. Payne staying over the wicket. Almost far the outside edge to brace it. Got a low take from the wicketkeeper. Perhaps pace off there from Payne. Good start here for Gloucestershire. Early wickets, keep saying it, so valuable in this form of the game. Oh, that's beautiful. Superb piece of time, and it'll race away from mid-off and out towards the tents for a boundary. Just a classic extra cover drive, this, from Adam Hose. Tall man, ever so slightly over-pitched from David Payne. Able to rock forward and punch through the line. Tremendous shot. Sweet piece of timing. And he goes to 5. Good response from Payne, targeting the stumps. On 7-4 the target. Oh, almost again from Payne, going past the outside edge, looked like a cutter to finish the over, dragging his fingers across one. I was looking to whip it leg side, was deceived, and fortunate that the ball bit and span away from his outside edge and the off stump. So 4 overs gone, 29 on the board for the Bears. A couple of wickets down already, and Gloucestershire will be content with this start as they attempt to defend 173 for what would be a 6th consecutive victory. A run they've put together only once before in the history of the T20 competition, and they can confirm a quarter-final place tonight if they win here, and if Worcestershire were to beat Northants later tonight at Wantage Road. A 6:30 start, the other game in the Central Group tonight.
Around the wicket to the right-hander, Matt Taylor. Still 2 overs left of the power play. Our fielders outside the 30-yard circle at deep square leg and deep cover. There's George Scott, who took the catch to dismiss Rob Yates, who's fielding out there on the cover boundary. This is good from Taylor. Plemish in his first over, kicking the stumps and conceding a no ball and a free hit, but it's recovered well. Hose strikes the ball cleanly, so he's keeping him under wraps so far. Until that point, mid on and mid off are up, and Jack Taylor, the skipper, retrieves the ball by the Thatcher's advertising board, and Hose collects his second boundary.
Just another conventional shot, isn't it? Punch right through the line. Beautiful piece of time once again from Hose.
That's a fine response. It's not allowing Hose to hit through that one. And dot ball. Hit, and hit straight to Ryan Higgins. Hose is out, and Bears are 3 down inside the power play. And that is a big, big moment in this game. 36 for 3. We said about wickets in the first 6 overs, and the dangerous Adam Hose, who's freed his arms a couple of times, tried to go over the infield and the onside, and only hit it straight to Ryan Higgins. Matt Taylor is into the wickets. And that, you feel, Alex, is a big moment.
It is very much so, yep. 3 wickets in the power play. And Gloucestershire right on top now. Dangerous Adam Hose gone. Having struck a couple of clean balls in his brief innings, but no damage from he either. So the top 3 gone cheaply here. And the Bears under some pressure. With an over to go in the power play. 174 their target, needing another 138 to win here in 15 overs. So already Gloucestershire have managed to push up the required run rate. And crucially, with those 3 wickets putting the Bears under real pressure. Just been a little bit careless, the visitors here. Stark contrast to how Dent and Hammond really took their time for Gloucestershire. Didn't score slowly, but weren't taking any unnecessary risks, really. Content to accumulate, and they made 49 without loss in the power play. 36 for 3 here, the Bears, after 5 overs. The last over of the power play coming up, and Van Buren is back to bowl it now at the pavilion end. Long off and deep mid-wicket are the men back here for the right-handed Will Rhodes. And that deep mid-wicket in play straight away here. So a lot resting on the captain here. Simply need a partnership here, the Bears, to get themselves into the chase. Danger of being bombed out of the contest unless they can just try and get into the innings. The left-hander at the crease here with Rhodes. Can only find extra cover. Van Buren will march back and skip in very, very quickly. Try and get through and over in the blink of an eye. Oh, and another one's gone. Van Buren with some turn past the inside edge, and he takes out the leg stump. And the Bears really are struggling here. 4 down now. And the captain Rhodes has gone for a duck. Mentioned that Van Buren likes to give it a tweak, and he's ripped one there past the inside edge. That is gripped and spun past Rhodes' attempted flick to leg. Beautiful piece of bowling. And Van Buren has been so effective in the competition so far. Began the day with 6 wickets to his name in an economy of only just above a run a ball. And a great start once again.
Yeah, it's exactly what he's looking for. It's a bit loose though from Will Rhodes, who does really well opening in the first class game for the Bears. But I mean, you look at his T20 career. It's his 36th innings, and he's averaging under 14. And yeah, it's just for whatever reason, he's not a consistent performer at the moment with the bat, the captain. Yeah, so he's better with the ball at the moment, but that was a fairly flaky shot, and exactly what Van Buren was looking for in terms of just sneaking it through the gate with a bit of turn. And it will turn if you give it the chance. We saw that earlier with Lintott.
Slip goes in here for the new man Burgess, another right-hander. Gloucestershire all over the Bears here. A little straight though from Van Buren. Allows Burgess to flick away a single to get himself away. Well, the Bears here are in danger of blowing themselves out of the game very quickly indeed. 4 down already. Wonderful over here from Van Buren in the final over of the power play. Couple of balls only if fielding restrictions remain. And another dot ball. Hayne not able to work it away to leg. Wonderful stuff from Van Buren, and look, he's ready again. Hayne's not quite ready for him. Anything on that down the leg side? No, so this will be wide. Possibly came off Bracey. Just going to be an additional extra run to short fine leg. And it'll be just a leg bye to finish the power play, and that's a superb opening 6 overs for Gloucestershire. Defending 173, they got the Bears 41 for 4 here. And the asking rate is on its way towards 10 and over already. Sorry car for the Bears so far. Good start for Yates, but since he fell, Gloucestershire have taken regular wickets, and they're huge, huge favourites already here.
Yeah, we drew the comparison earlier. 49 without loss. Gloucestershire's very solid power play. Bears in all sorts of trouble. 41 for 4. Michael Burgess new to the crease. Tom Smith into the attack. Field spread now, of course, even though Gloucestershire firmly in the ascendancy. I'm just asking the Bears to force the pace and make their own mistakes, really. Left arm spin from both ends. I wonder if Smith can extract a bit of turn. Been very economical in this season's competition. It's a recovery job now. Hayne, you feel, has to stay there. Still got a few hitters down the order. See, Tim Bresnan can give the ball a whack. Now Smith's onto this, and there's the throw. I tell you what, that wasn't far away. Burgess was scrambling.
Yeah, the pair of Gloucestershire left-arm spinners have been so effective so far. combined for 18 wickets now in the competition.
Just got a touch on that off the pad, I think. Yeah, umpire Jeremy Lloyd raises his leg. Quicker and flatter, and risk averse at the moment. Burgess, understandably so. His team really on the back foot. The arm ball there, just again, not looking to turn it really, Smith. Just nice economical stuff. 4 from the over, and I think it's going to be left arm spin to continue. Van Buren 2 for 9 already, tormenting the Bears lineup. And as you mentioned, Alex, these two working in tandem have been hugely important contributors. But again, we're looking at Gloucestershire and saying that, you know, there's contributions from pretty much everyone. You know, they really are chipping in.
Yeah, it's been a real team effort so far in this incredible run. They're all over the Bears here with 129 more to get. Driven firmly and just past the fieldsman. And is it going to run away for 4 towards extra cover? Yes, it is. Struck firmly by Sam Hain.
Well, it burst through the hands of Jack Taylor, but it had so much pace on it that it got through to the boundary. So,
and Taylor could have a problem here, actually. I think he might be walking towards the dressing room.
Well, he's already got some strapping on his right hand, and that was really hit firmly. He did get hands to it, but I wonder if maybe just split the webbing. It looks like it's his left hand that he's hurt. So we've got a sub-fielder coming on here.
So the skipper off the field now for Gloucestershire. I'll just add another element to this defence. And the most necessary boundary there for the Bears. At the start of the over, saw the required rate almost touching 10s. Van Buren is in again from the pavilion end. He manages to force it away for a single. Had to Dent patrolling this cover fence. Wonderful work in the deep on Sunday, Chris Dent, with 2 run-outs. That's well struck from Burgess. Has he got all of this over mid-wicket? He does. That's a fine strike. Sweet timing. Van Buren has been all over the Bears so far, but has now been taken for 4 and now 6 by Michael Burgess. Swept away well, quite full. Good contact into the front rows of seats. Fired in quicker from Graham Van Buren. They should get 2 here. A lot of work for Dent to do, running to his left from deep cover.
George Hankins is the sub-fielder. I'm just looking at who's kind of directing traffic now with the captain off the field. Looks like Ian Cobain. It's extra cover. A little bit of help from Tom Smith, maybe.
Dent in the game again. Just a single this time. A much needed over here for the Bears, and the spectators on the balconies of those flats will be pleased with what they've seen so far, but recognise that there's still a long way to go. The Bears can work their way back into the chase, particularly with this man at the crease, Sam Hain. So that's a really effective set for the Bears to just get this chase going, because they weren't quite out of it, but the game was slipping away from them. 4 down and the required rate at 10s with so long to go in the innings, but a much better over. Now 60 for 4 after 8, leaves 114 to get in 12 overs.
A loud shirt that from that gentleman on the balcony.
I suppose
Not one to judge, but still.
It's a day for a loud shirt, I suppose, with this lovely sunshine around. It's clouded over a little bit as the afternoon has drifted on, but lovely and warm once again. Searingly hot yesterday. It was back to July temperatures.
Still 114 required. Smith to continue. Hayne will think about a second here, but it's well fielded. Push through there, nearly a nibble through to James Bracey, who's still waiting for his first catch in this season's Plus competition. 5 stumpings, no catches. Burgess, high score of 17 not out in this summer's Blast. Just the 150 in 29 innings. So firmly sweeping this away to Chris Dent. Hayne uses his feet. Smith saw him coming. Smith, vastly experienced operator. Turned 33 a few weeks ago. Such a canny operator. Huge gem in this side. Again, so difficult to get away. Hard to know what to do against him, really.
Excellent over so far, just regaining momentum after that expensive set from Van Vuren.
We'll just milk a single here because Smith is onto it pretty quickly. And another very tidy over. 3 singles from it. It's not enough for Birmingham Bears. They are scratching around at the moment here, recovering after those early wickets. Yates, Sibley, Hose and Captain Rhodes all gone cheaply. 2 for Van Buren, 1 for Matt Taylor, 1 for David Payne. Hayne has 12, Burgess has 13, 63 for 4, 11 overs remaining, 111 runs required for victory. Remember, Bears coming into this game, 3 wins in a row. Gloucestershire, 5 victories on the spin. The 2 informed teams in the central group, but it's Gloucestershire well on top at the moment.
And here comes Ryan Higgins at the pavilion end, leading wicket taker for Gloucestershire in the tournament so far. Just be looking to work through another couple of cheap overs here and get that run rate required ratcheting up. It's now above 10s for the first time in the innings.
Still no Jack Taylor, by the way, so George Hankins still on as a sub-fielder.
Pace off and slapped away, but it'll just be a single to deep mid-wicket. Deep square, long off, long on, and deep cover the man out here for Higgins. He's generally right up there at the stumps, nice and full all the time. Fullish length again, pace off, rather gets away with that one, cut straight to point.
As well stopped by Smith, because that was a nasty one.
It
bounced
was
just before it
bouncing awkwardly, it was. Hayne will feel he missed out with a bit of width on offer. Yeah, Higgins began the day with 13 wickets in the tournament so far. A chance for a run out here. Oh, just misses. Direct hit. Would have been very, very close. Flashing through for the run, it was almost straight to the fieldsman, that extra cover. Cobain taking aim, with probably 1.5 stumps to aim at. But single's fine for Gloucestershire at this stage. Oh, full toss slapped away, but again, can only find the fieldsman out at deep mid-wicket. It's an excellent over so far for Higgins. As we move towards the halfway stage, 174 the target. And the Bears haven't eaten too much out of it so far. This will just be a single more. Excellent stuff from Higgins again. Pace off, nice and full. Field set. Just a single down the ground. So we've reached the halfway stage. And the Bears are struggling in this chase of 174. They lost 2 wickets too soon. And now having to rebuild. And having to rebuild with the required rate. Really starting to get out of control. Guess they're going to have to score over 10 and over for the remainder of the innings to get up here. 69 for 4, chasing 174.
Yeah, no wickets lost in the last 4 overs, but runs at a premium. Smith to continue from the Ashley Down road end. Burgess really had to reach for that one. Hankins, the subfielder, posted at long off. So still no Jack Taylor on the field after sustaining a hand injury. Trying to take the catch.
By stark contrast, Gloucestershire, you lose a wicket at this stage of the innings. 78 without loss after 10.
A little bit of dip in, and then it's an inside edge onto the ankle of Sam Hain. That's a painful one.
He does look in pain here, yeah. I think he's jammed either the bat into his ankle, or he's jammed the ball into his ankle, but certainly something unprotected there. And he looks in some pain. So on comes the Bears physiotherapist.
Just gives me an opportunity to say that we're back. The Gloucestershire Match Centre, live stream, full commentary again on Sunday for the West Country Derby with Somerset. It's a 1 p.m. start, that one. Hope you can join us for that one. There is a game before that, of course. Gloucestershire travel to Wales, just over the Prince of Wales Bridge, to take on Glamorgan at Cardiff. That's a 6:30 start on Friday. And as I mentioned then, it's all wrapped up. The final game of the Central Group is on Sunday against Somerset, 1 p.m. start. We hope you can join us there. We'll be on air from 12:30. Will Gloucestershire finish it off unbeaten at the moment? It's looking very, very promising. 5 wins in a row, well on top in this one. Hain looks to be okay to continue. Just needs a moment or two to compose himself, and we're back underway. Dabbed away. Van Buren's quick, and that's just one. That's in the air and straight to Hankins and gone. 5 down now. Burgess decided that was the ball to try and get after, and Smith is just so difficult to dominate and get on top of. And again, he picks up an important wicket straight down the throat of long off. 5 down, Birmingham Bears, and it's a long way back from here.
Yeah, it was becoming another really cheap over from Smith, so Burgess decided to take a chance. But not the connection he was looking for. Not too far away from that long off fence. But a comfortable catch. And another wicket falls, and Gloucestershire are in complete control here. Tim Bresnan strides to the crease now, all his experience and hitting ability. But the Bears running out of hitters, and it's hitting they're going to need to try and rescue this chase, with the required rate now touching 11s.
Only batted a couple of times in this season's competition. Scores of 28 and 9 for Tim Bresnan. Mentioned earlier, it's a long time since his T20 debut. 17 years ago. Vastly experienced player, as is Smith. Here he comes. I think this will just be one. Again, it's Van Buren. Lively presence in the field. Burgess never quite looked capable of doing the Cobain innings, which is basically what Birmingham need here. Someone who can just clear the ropes a few times and Give Gloucestershire something to think about. Big appeal there from Braces. Great glove work. It's a wide. I think he probably knew that. Hayne trying to sweep.
Jerry Lloyd doesn't fall for those old tricks.
Sharp work again there from Brace. He really is on top of his game. And just another single to close the over. So what, that's 3 overs from Tom Smith. And it's yielded 10 runs. 1 for 10. And 1 for 11 actually in the end with that single. So 1 for 11 from Tom Smith. He, as I said earlier, is just such a vital cog in this team. And Richard Dawson, of course, a spin bowler himself as a player. Just enjoy having someone like that. They could just rely on, can't you? You just rely on him to bowl like that pretty much every game. And of course, he took 5 wickets, a career best against Birmingham when these sides met earlier in the season. Van Buren is to bowl from the pavilion end.
Yeah, it's going to bowl out here as Gloucestershire try to apply the squeeze here. It's the asking rate above 11 runs per over now. It's a lot of runs to get with so much time left in the innings, and number of wickets down for the Bears as well. That's a real killer if they were only 2 down at this stage. Still be really alive in the chase, but one of these two probably is going to have to play remarkable innings to get the Bears up. Do they here perhaps see out Van Buren after an excellent spell? And it's a little bit of pressure in his previous over. Thought Smith already grasped the initiative again. There's going to be 1 here. Good work off the long on boundary. Just the way he flashes through the overs, Graham Van Buren, already in the blink of an eye. 3 deliveries gone on the over. The back of his mark ready to come in every single time. He's hurrying the batsman. There's just going to be 1 more, I think, as well, yes. Good scramble on the mid-wicket fence. Singles nowhere near enough for the Bears at the minute. Oh, a slice of luck. It's gone through past Bracey.
Given us wide,
signal wides by umpire Blackwell, yeah. Just outside the guideline. And maybe just gripped as well. So there's a bonus for the Bears. That's rather ruined the over from Van Buren. Yeah, it did turn. It was just outside the guidelines. Turned away from Bracey as well. Couldn't capitalise. Oh, it's got through this time though. A quicker ball fired in. And Van Buren has a 3rd wicket. And Bresnan has gone. And the Bears' predicament deepens. Having just been given a lifeline in the over, really, with those 5 extras. Another wicket goes down. And Gloucestershire continue to have a firm grip on this chase. 83 for 6 now. And the Bears still need 91 to win.
He enjoyed that one, didn't he, Van Buren? He was given a wide previous ball. That one just hurried on to Bresnan. Arm ball that beat him all ends up, really. And it's been a procession for the Bears. They haven't got going in this innings whatsoever. And I said Bresnan is obviously capable of clearing the boundary a few times with some lusty blows, but Gloucestershire have just been simply too good. And yes, Sam Hayne is still there, but it's a big ask now. Still 91 runs required, and only 4 wickets left. Yeah, the best players out there, but no one to stay with him at the moment. The Bears have got no partnerships going at all in this chase so far. They really have blown themselves up. Last ball of Van Buren's spell. Just nudged away for a single. That's a pretty good day's work again for Graham Van Buren. We'll finish with 3 for 33 from his set. Yeah, not needed with a bat, Van Buren. But again, putting his hand up with the ball. 9 wickets for the campaign now this season. And yeah, great performance. Really, really good performance. So 90 to win off 8.
And the Bears have got to go some from here. One
Smith.
more over of Smith to come. 1 for 11 so far. Remarkable figures.
That's an economy just over 3.5 and over.
And a new man to bowl as well here, which again will help Gloucestershire try and just go through a cheaper over and send that asking rate skyrocketing.
Sun is back out here in North Bristol. Gloucestershire enjoying their day. Too good.
Clever piece of bowling, just held it back, allowed it to turn. Seen a bit of grip out there today.
Oh, got away with that one. That was normally so metronomic, and that was a big juicy full toss. I don't think Brooks could quite believe it. Completely missed it. Brooks, only 21 years of age, from Solihull, local lad. Can't get it away. 4 dot balls. Now Brooks does go big this time, and I think he's got all of it. Yes, he has. 6. So 4 dots and then a 6. Vagaries of T20 cricket. And it's actually the first boundary that Smith has conceded with his penultimate ball.
That's a clean strike. Badly needed for the Bears.
But I think there's just going to be 7 off the over. Yes, there is. There's a settle for 1. So, fantastic spell. 4 overs, 1 for 18 from Tom Smith. And Van Buren, fellow left-arm spinner, picking up 3 for 33. So, left-arm spin has been crucial in this game. As Gloucestershire try and defend their total of 173 for 6. Remember, they opted to bat first. Jack Taylor is not on the pitch at the moment because of that hand injury. It is Ian Cobain who's stepping up as vice-captain, and he's decided to bring Matt Taylor back onto bowl. He'll bowl from the pavilion end, and Alex Winter will talk you through it.
So above 2 a ball the Bears need from here on in. 83 to get off the last 7 overs. But they will have the seamers to target for the remainder of the innings here, the Bears. But they've only got 4 wickets in the shed. Good start from Taylor. Picked up the wicket of Adam Hose, the dangerous Adam Hose. Gloucestershire chipped away really, really well. Wicket in the first over with that reverse sweep that went wrong from Dom Sibley. They've had the Bears under wraps throughout the innings so far. Nothing Brooks can do with that. And every dot ball here just sees that asking rate jump up a little further. Sam Hain will be stood there at the other end thinking, just get me on strike. Still believe that he can get the Bears back into this contest. Took them home on Sunday at Worcester. Plenty of bat on this. It'll land short of long on running in, and it'll just be a single. So a great start to the 14th over for Taylor and Gloucestershire. 1 from 3 deliveries. Taylor has got deep square, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and deep cover out here. Third man and fine leg both inside the 30-yard circle. Backward point and extra cover at the other men inside the ring. And finally, Hain gets the bowling back. And he finds a boundary. Third man is up, and Hain has taken that up and over the head of Smith and down towards the flats for a badly needed boundary. Has to find something here for the Bears to keep them in the contest. But while he's still there, there is still very much a threat for Gloucestershire, despite the skyrocketing asking rate. That's sweetly timed. It's just going to be a single out to the cover fieldsman. Yep, Dent able to come to his right-hand side to claim. It is all seen from here on in, though, which Hain'll feel is in his favour, and the chance to perhaps line up the seamers. But Gloucestershire again will feel they have plenty left to close this one out. Oh, that's high. High in the air, third man going back, and a good catch taken. Graham Van Buren judging that very well indeed. And the Bears are 7 down. Taylor has his second wicket. A short ball that went quickly onto Brooks here. Just surprised by the pace a little bit. Late on the shot, straight up in the air. Not quite straight up in the air it went. A bit of a whirl of an edge actually in the end, forcing Van Buren to go back. And never easy though, he's taking it over your shoulder. But he's judged that very well. Running back from short third man. And Brooks departs. Another Bears batsman walks off. That's been the tail of the tape. Bears batsman coming and going. 96 for 7.
Yeah, it's top catch. The big worry, I think the game's all but gone, hasn't it, really, for the Bears? But I think the big worry for Paul Favre, the sport director, and Jim Troughton, the head coach, is that if they get dismissed here, then it's going to have another negative impact on their net run rate if they don't get close. And of course, that's why they're behind, and they're in the table. That's why they're third rather than second.
Yeah, they took a huge knock to their net run rate in the return fixture in Edgbaston, managing to lose that game from 57 runs, despite it only being a 12-over contest. And yeah, at the moment they're on course to take another whack to their net run rate. They've at least got to bat out the overs here. They've still got 5 overs after this to come. That was actually the end of Taylor's over, so 6 to come, including this.
To be bowled by Ryan Higgins. Starts with a bouncer and a good one. Ollie Stone misses out. So Matt Taylor has returned to the side, has been a successful one, 2 for 22 from his 3 overs so far.
Yeah, I'll be pleased. Yeah, we'll be pleased. Yeah, back in the side, bit of pressure after struggling in the early part of the competition. Missed out in favour of Benny Howell on Sunday, but back today and he's bowled well.
Low full toss. They run the first one quickly, but really they want Sam Hain to get on strike, so they settle for 1. Just one more. George Scott doing the fielding this time. It was a real sort of eye-opener, wasn't it? The way Stone bowled earlier. As quick as anything I've seen in quite some time. This time with the bat, he's flaying this down the ground. 1 bounce. And, stop there. $99 for 7. Been a real struggle for the Bears. It's 100 up.
Limping to the mark in the 15th over here. It was during this period for Gloucestershire when Cobain got going and really gave the innings some impetus, because they weren't entirely cruising along at the halfway stage.
That's good bowling this from Higgins, full.
But the difference between the sides so far has been just the much calmer, composed nature of the Gloucestershire batsmen. Denton Hammond able to just work the bowling around, pick up the odd boundary. It wasn't raining boundaries, but there was the odd reverse sweep from Hammond. Just kept the board ticking nicely and able to work that partnership away. And even when Cobain was dismissed after his volley. There was time there just to take stock and just to ensure that they were in a good place come the back end of the innings and able to put up a competitive total that has proved more than enough, with the Bears needing 72 to win from only 30 balls now. Never say never in sport, of course. Gloucestershire will be very confident to close this one out. Comfortably away from Taylor, and they could get back for the second run here. In comes the throw, but it's good running. Hayne is quick. Fieldsman from long on had to come decent way to his left-hand side out there. A couple of runs to begin the 16th. Bears simply have to go, really, otherwise they are going to lose by a long, long chalk, and if they do bat the overs from this position. Nicely driven by Stone, but so well driven. I was about to say it might only be a single, but he placed it well between long on and long off, so 2 more. Enjoyable viewing for those on the balconies of the flats across from us. Enjoying the good weather out there. No signs of barbecuing just yet. Flailing edge this time and taking a backward point. Ollie Stone goes now, and the Bears are almost done here.
Tom Smith with the catch, safe pair of hands again. Gloucestershire's fielding has been bang on once more, as you would expect. It has been throughout this competition. Matt Taylor has 3 wickets. Stone played a couple of nice strokes there, actually. He was a bit disappointed. I think he was quite enjoying being out there. It's a rare time in the middle for a tail ender in this competition, but he has to go, and the Bears' woes continue.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit of a calamity with the visitors. 3 wins in succession have got them right back into the qualification shake-up, having lost badly to Gloucestershire at Edgbaston, but this is becoming a very, very ugly defeat for the Bears once again. To really check that momentum, they're still going to be right there, thereabouts with the games to come, but haven't really acquitted themselves well at all here with the bat. 105 for 8, chasing 174. At no stage they've been in this chase. Lost a wicket in the opening over and have lost wickets throughout. No stage they put Gloucestershire under any pressure whatsoever, and Taylor has enjoyed a fine comeback. Hayne's still there, and he'll still believe he can produce something truly extraordinary, but it's just a single here. Good scramble from Van Buren on the cover fence, going to his left-hand side.
Well, that's what he's been operating in, really, Hayne, hasn't he? I mean, he's run a ball 27 at the moment. He's been out there 45 minutes. Just watched batsmen come and go at the other end.
He'd have been hanging his head, thinking, somebody please stay with me, but no partnerships at all in this innings so far. It's been a disaster really for the visiting side. Long leg now goes back, third man comes up here for Taylor. With Lintott, the new batsman. And Bracey just can't quite reach that. Wait for the signal. It could have been glove here from Lintott. Well, he's taken something on the body because he's hurt himself, and he's down on his haunches. So he's been struck a very painful blow here, it seems. Looks like his wrist, is it? I think umpire Blackwell has given runs, so maybe there was a bit of glove involved. It's either glove or arm that Lintott has been struck here, and really does look in pain.
It's not nice to see, is it? Talked earlier about how hard he's had to work to get this opportunity. His 3rd county, and
yeah, this would be a shame if this perhaps takes him out of the remaining couple of matches, because it's been a good return for Lintott. He's bowled well since joining the Bears on a short-term deal.
So it's on the quite wrist forearm area that he seems to be receiving treatment. We're going to have a stoppage here,
Yeah,
which gives us time, Alex, to discuss so far the candidates for the gem of a ball competition that we've got running, so that someone can win 8 cases of Bath Ales Gem by St Austell. I think we're both on the same page with this one at the moment, anyway, unless something completely extraordinary happens.
Yes, there's one delivery that stands out in the innings so far. But still time for someone to do something extraordinary with 2 wickets to take.
Looks like Lintot's going to continue.
Yeah,
in some pain. He's had the
may have taken a painkiller on, bit of magic spray. But he's desperately trying to peel his glove back on. He does not look comfortable at all. He'll try and hold the bat. That's the last thing the Bears need, a heavy defeat and an injury to one of their key bowlers. He looks okay. And a ripple of applause, I think, there from the supporters watching on the balcony, perhaps, for Lintott trying to struggle on. The game almost gone there for the Bears, asking right now of 16 runs per over. Just be a single again for Hayne. Out to deep cover. So Taylor has enjoyed a fine return here. Struggled in the early part of the competition, left out for Benny Howell on Sunday, but back in the side here today and has picked up 3 for 29. Tremendous figures, and has helped Gloucestershire totally dominate the Bears in the second innings. 174 remains the target, but the Bears have never once looked like chasing it at all. They've lost wickets throughout the innings. No batsman, including Hayne here, who's only going along on a run of ball, have been able to put the home side under any kind of pressure at all. We've still got 4 overs to go. The Bears 65 adrift.
Higgins with an away swinging wide full toss that Haynes somehow reaches and then sends Lintott scampering back. Says, don't worry, I'll have the strike from here. 108 for 8. And just for a comparison, Duckworth Lewis 150 at the end of this over, so well behind. But that's a good clean strike from Sam Hayne, and that's his first 6 of the innings. Away towards wide long on, and he's picked that up nicely. Knew what Higgins was trying there and dispatched it over the rope. 114 for 8.
Yeah, pace off from Higgins, and Hayne has picked it up well. Very sweet strike.
All are on the ground this time. More work for long on. Does well, but they'll come back for 2.
Yeah, better throw may have had Lintott struggling there. Desperate to get Hayne back on strike to see if he can just conjure something and keep this game alive. That's what Will Smead and Tom Lammonby managed to do for Somerset on Sunday when the game looked all but up.
Hayne is really going after Higgins now. 2 more.
Yeah, brief fumble back there. Again, a clean pickup may have seen Lintott struggling. Just crumbled a little bit under pressure, did Gloucestershire on Sunday. And Smead and Lammonby were going all out attack.
Straight again, this will be cut off. They'll think of a second, they want a second, and he's gone. Lintott, despairing lunge. A bit of a miserable stay at the crease for him. Struck on the wrist first ball, and then despite his best efforts, run out at the non-striker's end. Good throw in from Hankins. Higgins with the bails whipped off, and Ian Blackwell raised the finger. In fact, it was Jeremy Lloyd's at that end. And 9 down now. Birmingham Bears, 119 for 9.
Yeah, to come back there to keep Hayne on strike, see if he could clear the fences a few times and keep the Bears alive. But safe fielding from Hankins. Finally, Gloucestershire effect the run out. And this one is almost done with over 3 overs of the contest remaining.
Jeetan Patel joins Sam Hain at the crease. Still 54 needed for a hugely unlikely victory. And what's Jeetan Patel saying to Sam Hain here? Is he mentioning the run rate?
Well, it's got to be a consideration, surely. I mean, the chances of them chasing 54 to win in 19 deliveries now are all but naught. But the chances of getting to maybe within 20 to protect the net run rate are much better.
Short, hooked away, and this might just go for 4, you know. Van Buren's quick, but he's not that quick, and that's 4 runs. End of the over. 3 remain, 123 for 9, exactly 50 needed for victory. Patel will be on strike at the start of this next over, which is going to be bowled by David Payne from the pavilion end.
Yeah, they wanted to see this out here, Gloucestershire, because they would have been annoyed with their performance in the field on Sunday. They had the chance to really smash Somerset and give their net run rate a boost. And they've got the same chance here if they can close this one out. 50 to win from 18 deliveries. Haynes still there, but it's a last chip, last chance really for the Bears. And Patel's got to get him on strike and hope that Haynes can produce something miraculous. But as I say, the chances of just seeing out the overs and getting a little bit closer, net run rate with the tight race they're involved in to qualify, could come into the equation. Oh, but it could be all over here. Cobain going back and takes the catch. It is all over. So Gloucestershire this time have closed it out, and in quite some style. They've bowled the Bears out for only 123. So Gloucestershire have won this by 50 runs. What a performance. An utter stuffing. Equally of the manner that they served out at Edgbaston, but this one, I have to say, an even worse performance from the Bears, and they've been bowled out with fully 17 deliveries to go. Absolutely extraordinary, and they've lost by a long chalk.
The joy of 6 for Jack Taylor and his Gloucestershire boys. 6 victories in a row. They could qualify for the quarter-finals if the Northants result goes their way later on today. We'll keep an eye out for that. As for now, we've been obviously teasing this competition we've had going today. Hashtag Gem of a Ball, courtesy of our sponsors Bath Ales Gem by St Austell. And it's a chance to win 8 cases of that particular ale. And as the Gloucestershire boys buoyant, they walk off, we can announce the winner. And it's the man in your screen now who Alex and I have decided delivered the Gem of a Ball. One of his 3 wickets. It was against the captain. Here it is. Left arm spin.